Right, the second horse is interesting. If there's any justice in the world, this one will win some races for me next year because it will mean I'm a couple of years too late because there was a good horse on this line a couple of years ago and I just totally passed on it. It's a good indicator, this one, of how my processes are improving. You know, this horse, if it's any good. Castle Way, if it's not any good, then there's arguments that Palace Pier, which is the horse I'm on about, I was right to pass on it in the first place and there was more of a chance of it not being any good than being any good, sort of thing. This is an interesting one. You'll see it had a run second on its first start, and then it made no mistake in the race we're going to watch here. Second time out, and you see it's been running to the sort of level that a lot of our maiden winners seem to be running at nowadays. The trouble with that is the pattern horses are in the 110s now and higher. That's the trouble we've got now. There are a lot of these maiden horses. They'll be going off short prices purely on a reputation and pedigree, really. The form just won't be there for them at this stage. There's not really much time left to get them up to Group 1 2-year-old races. But luckily we're looking for classic horses and not pattern winning 2-year-olds at this stage. This horse here, though, is quite an interesting horse because it's like I said, it's related to Palace Pier. It's a half brother to it. Palace Pier won 5 Group 1s and a Group 2. And he's off to stud now, Palace Pier. Obviously, it's hard to ascertain because there's none on the track yet, and there won't be for another 2 years. But I'm sure he might do all right. The dam is an unraced half sister to Group 2 winner Bonfire, and Group 1 placed Group 2 and Group 3 winner Joviality. Second dam, she's a half sister to Miss Carleona. That was placed in a US Group 2. She's the dam of Karen's Caper that was also a decent Group 3 horse in England and was placed a couple of times in America, as well as a US Group 2 winner called Miss Coronado. Third dam is actually half sister to a horse that won the 1995 Prix Moulin called Miss Satamixa. The fourth and the fifth dam both won listed races, and the fourth dam and Miss Satin, who is the fifth dam of this horse, is also the fourth dam of the 2011 UK and Irish Oaks winner Blue Bunting, which is something I've just spotted. And we'll have a look on the long distance sort of pedigree, as I like to say. A lot of it we're all in here. Look, with Miss Skyscraper and Miss Satin. There's Miss Dooley and Miss Carleone. So we're about down here, it's fair to say, with this horse. Karen's Cape was a bit older than ours. Miss Dooley, I think, is the third dam of this horse, isn't she? Yeah, she is. So Night Frolic and Beach Frolic, they don't make this little section. If they were to, be similar to that, you see. Yeah, we'll be scrolling off somewhere down here. Just got to sort of imagine it there, if you can. Luckily I can. So I can roughly work out what's going on. I mean, it's a bit of this here, apart from Blue Bunting, which I just spotted, there's pretty much a few German middle distance classic winners there. Looking at our immediate section, you have to go back to 1910 to find a French Guineas and Derby winner in Dagor on our little section. But the rest of it, it's a pedigree that is a proper one. You'll see if people scroll down that there's horses like Imagine that are on it. Imagine. We had some very nice horses. Triple Crown winner there, Gallant Fox. That's an interest. That's the section you want to be on, really. And if you get back to that Triple Crown winner, Trev as well, look, the Art winner, Triptych, very good horse. And you've got Generous, Derby winner, Imagine, just folds so many good horses, still going round to this day. You had Van Gogh, who won a Group 1 a couple of years ago for Coolmore, that was out of Imagine. Horatio Nelson, that died in the Derby, was out of Imagine. That's if you can get that one back to the current day, that's the best part of it you want to be on, I'd probably say. Looking at it now, wow, Trillin as well. The rest of it is sort of the odd hit and miss horse there, an Irish Oaks winner. There is sections on it that if you can get on it, there's no such thing as a guarantee in racing. that the horse is going to be decent. But you can sort of eliminate a few just by looking at where you are. Is there any other good horses related to it? It's an interesting horse. Let's watch it win, shall we? And then we'll move on to the last horse, I think.
Eased in. That's it, all in. They're off. 6 of them breaking out over a mile. The Together Commercial Finance EBF Novice Stakes. Orchestra Red Cap slowest to get out. No great haste though through the first 300 yards or so. From the rail across Lion Kingdom, King Me with the striped sleeves, Paisano the white sleeves and cap, and Teller pink cap caught widest of all. Into the turn, Castleway, the short price favourite. The all blue Silks of Will Buick, a couple of lengths off the lead. And from a slightly sluggish start, Orchestra holds the rail and makes up a little ground as King Me betrays a few signs of inexperience on the turn and has to be kidded and cajoled and humoured along. And Paisano likewise has drifted back, got a little livener there just to help concentrate his mind, but he runs a little in snatches away to the left as they straighten and head towards halfway. And it's Lion Kingdom the Grey, with King Me now straightened out, and likewise Paisano on the near side coming to press for the lead. Couple lengths away to Castleway in fourth, poised in behind the leading half of the field as they pass the 3. Then Orchestra against the running rail, and Teller in a pink jacket is last but one. Now Castleway is going to need a little bit of daylight. Will Buick's having to kid him along, and he needs to find an out as they quicken down towards the last quarter mile. Lion Kingdom with first run on the field, hasn't seen off King Me. Castleway still having to be angled out, just taking a bit of organising, but now he's beginning to respond in the royal blue. Inside the furlong they come. White cap in the centre, King Me. Lion Kingdom the rail. Here's Castleway coming over the top. Stamina kicking in. He begins to assert and he draws clear. And he might be a useful recruit. Castleway beats King Me. Lion Kingdom made a good go of it in third. Tight fourth between Teller and Orchestra.
Hustle.
I mean, that to me, I have to say, was the advantage of having a stable jockey, because I think there, you can see how he was teaching the horse as it was going down the track. You know, he was giving it plenty of time. He knew he was going to ride it. Probably ridden that horse plenty of time in work and things like that. You know, he knows the horse. And he cajoled it along well there, the jockey. And you can see why he's the champion. Can't you, watching rides like that? Because the horse there looked like it was struggling, didn't it? 2 or 2 furlongs out. Just mainly just through being a bit babyish and just not realising that it's a racehorse. Some of these horses, they don't get good till 6 or 7 or 8 years old. Look at Grand National horses, they're 10. This horse is 2. You know, it's putting 4 legs in front of the other, going quite fast on its second start, and it's in the last furlong there. It's sort of, you can see that a light goes on, the light goes off in the horse's head, and it quickens and it goes. You know, and I think on the third start of this horse, you might see a totally different horse than that. It could improve no end, I think, because you can see that it was sort of taking a step forward within even the race itself. You can see that, I could anyway, clear as day. It's just whether he's as good as what Palace Pier was. The sire, Al Mansour, I mean, a friend of mine, Steve Allpress, he's touched a couple of Al Mansours, and to me, I've said to him, I said, it's not really a stallion I'm convinced about, and I probably would want to see more of it. This is the sort of stallion, this is the sort of mare I'll be looking with Al Mansour, just to see if he can. Look at Palace Pier, if he can get a horse that's half as good as Palace Pier, like a Group 2 winner or a Group 3 winner, and he's done his job really, isn't he? If the horse is world class, then obviously Al Mansour is a good sire. But I think the Dan line is strong enough to chance this horse now, the Palace Pier line. I'm going to call it until I'm proven otherwise. Yeah, it's an interesting horse, Castleway, and I think on its next start, see if it's entered up. It's entered in the Vertem Futurity, you see, in 6 weeks' time. I'd be hoping that he wouldn't do that. You know, he's a sort of horse to me that's the sort of thing you see where they'd be running 215 and we've got 88 in the book. You know, it'd be impossible to be confident, wouldn't it? But it's a very nice, very promising horse, I think, for next season, hopefully, Castleway.